You're listening to episode 50 of Fresh Floppies.
50?
50. You should get on your mic and talk. I want to hear
50.
what you sound like. Okay.
50?
That's not what you sound like.
Damn it! What's up to all our sidekicks and henchfolk out there in the Geek Nation, and also our Omnibuds out there in the Geek Nation?
Yeah. The nation of nerditude has been extended to the fine folks at the Facebook group Omnibuds Cafe.
They're delightful, and I love them.
Super delightful.
This is Fresh Floppies. What's a Fresh Floppy?
What's
a floppy, and then what's a fresh?
Yeah, a floppy is a monthly periodical that comes out that doesn't make sense. A monthly periodical that comes out weekly. It's comic books, man. Single issue comic books. They flop in your hand a little bit. Spinner rack Johns that we're going to talk about spoiler free. Not collected editions, not omnibuses, but comic books. Go to your local comic shop and enjoy it.
Yeah. We will arm you with the knowledge you need to go buy or not buy.
And we're going to talk about some very important / new things this week. I think we're going to kick it off with. So last week we talked about Blood Hunt, the new Marvel event, summer event. Me. It surprised us how wonderful and fun it was. And this week, a butt ton of tie-ins happen, and I read almost all of them. We're going to talk about two of them specifically, and we'll start with Doctor Strange number 15, written by Jed MacKay with art by Pasquale Ferry. JD, how did you like this book?
Well, this book picks up exactly where Blood Hunt 1 ends off, and it's written by the same dude, so Jed MacKay. So he's got his fingers in a lot of these pies that we're about to talk to today.
Bloody pies!
I was... it's good. I like it. I like where it's headed. I'm trying to think of how I can not spoil this. But I like what happens in this book. And, I don't know, for anyone who doesn't know, if you're not reading Doctor Strange, also a great book. I'm a little bit behind, but I do love that Doctor Strange, Stephen, and Clea are together, and it's like a family book, a couple book,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's like a buddy cop book.
Yes.
She is a
good cop, bad cop. She is bad cop.
She is bad.
She's very bad
cop. But she's trying to be better for him. It's a wonderful book, and so I loved this issue. I have been reading Doctor Strange. Honestly, I've been reading Doctor Strange for years.
Yeah, you jumped on and never left.
Yeah, I jumped on with Jason Aaron and I never left because honestly, like everyone talks about how Daredevil is the most consistent book at Marvel. Doctor Strange has given it a run for its money because you had the Jason Aaron run, which was wonderful.
I love that book.
Donny Cates jumped in, which was about 12 issues of fun as hell. Mark Waid was on it for like 25, 26 issues, and it was awesome. He went to space to find space magic.
That's right.
Awesome. Absolutely
space
awesome.
Magic.
And then Jed MacKay jumped in with that miniseries, The Death of Doctor Strange, which became a Clea book, and then it became this. It has been about 5 or 6 years of solid as hell Strange, and people need to talk about it more. This book is wonderful, and this was definitely like a issue 1.5.
Yeah.
It mentions a couple of things that are happening in the book proper, but I don't think they're deterrents here. Like especially there's a last page reveal where it's like, who the hell is that? But in context of the scene, they literally give you the person's name and where they are, so it's not too confusing. But if you've been reading the book, this issue is not divorced of everything just because it's a Blood Hunt tie-in.
Right.
I was happy with this.
Yeah. It's a good way to do a tie-in, especially, with the same writer. Oh, and also art by Pasquale Ferry, who I like a lot. You
didn't
a while back were saying how you didn't like.
I still don't really care for it on this book,
like
but the book is so
you hated the eyebrows.
I hate every. So if Doctor Strange has like twisty eyebrows, cool. Everyone has twisty eyebrows, and it's starting to make me. It's making me see like mid-90s twist to hell eyebrows in my it's not cool.
Okay,
it's not cool. Fill them up, Pasquale.
Fill up those eyebrows.
Fill up those. It's such a nitpick. This book is delightful.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, this was great. I want to jump back on to Doctor Strange. So Jed MacKay is really pulling me in. I want to catch up on Strange. I want to catch up on his Avengers.
He's Mr. Marvel right now, and
he's
I have no issues with it. Speaking of
Avengers number 14, Blood Hunt tie-in by also Jed MacKay, but with art by C.F. Villa.
Both of these are the main artists for the book. So Pasquale Ferry launched Doctor Strange. C.F. Villa launched Avengers. So these aren't like Phil and Johns. These are
these are the
main artists.
These are the dudes.
Yeah.
What did you think of this?
I also thought this was like classic tie-in BS. But it was also really fun.
I like how the point of view changes.
Yes.
As you're introduced to the new team of Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that.
The narrative device of this also happens immediately after Blood Hunt #1. In that issue, without spoilers, you actually see the Avengers very quickly get sidelined. So this issue starts with just ancillary members being called up to help pacify the legions and legions of vampires and victims that are now across the world. And it's just fun. And it takes a little bit of a weird, I wouldn't call it a twist, but like a sidetrack towards the end that it's like, oh, we're doing this now? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
I'm not super into the art for this book. It just, no offense, C.F. Villa, but this does not seem like top tier Marvel Avengers art. It looks more like tie-in art than Avengers main art, if that makes sense.
I think I'll have to double check, but I think that either the inker or the colorist is different.
Okay.
Because it looks like his C.F. Villa, it looks like their facial features and layouts, but it's not nearly as clean or crisp as it usually is.
Right on.
I don't know if it was rushed. I don't know but it's weird. It's like a facsimile of what the book usually looks like, but there's something a little bit, for lack of a better word, sloppier.
Yeah.
With this one,
looser for sure.
Yeah, looser is probably better.
It's pretty
sloppy
loose.
is derogatory. It's still a competent book, but it's not.
I'm seeing a little bit of Damian Scott. I'm seeing a little bit of Humberto Ramos. A little bit of Joe Madureira.
There's normally not a little bit of Humberto Ramos.
Oh, okay.
It's usually a little bit of a tighter book.
Right on.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was also fun. I was expecting to, the Blood Hunt I'm enjoying, which I didn't expect to enjoy, and then I was expecting the tie-ins to be like, I don't care. But I had a fun time reading both of these.
Other tie-ins that came out this week, we're not going to do full reviews, but I did read them. Amazing Spider-Man was just kind of like a filler issue, still fun, but a filler issue by JDsHeroComplex.shop. Yeah. The Dracula one-shot by Danny Lore was pretty solid because it is all about Bloodline, Blade's daughter.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know anything about her.
I don't know much about her, no.
It was pretty good.
Nice.
The others, the
Blood
Hunters, it's an anthology book. I'm allergic to them. Yeah. I tried. I got through the first one.
And gave up.
I gave up.
Right on.
And Strange Academy, which was, I stopped halfway through because I didn't finish Strange Academy, and it was like...
Spoilery?
Yeah, I was like, where's this cast member? Oh, shit, I don't know.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I would say pretty fresh for these.
I think... fresh, so that's more
Slightly
than pretty
above
fresh.
Than pretty fresh.
Yeah, like Avengers is close to fresh AF just because of the back half of the book and the promise of the next issue.
Yeah,
and Doctor Strange is almost fresh AF because I was just so impressed with this type of tie-in issue.
Yeah,
like it balances.
I would say
tie-ins really well.
I would say if you're looking for the very next thing to read after Blood Hunt from last week,
Strange.
Doctor Strange number
15.
15 is the next one you should grab.
Agreed.
If you're going to grab any of these. Yeah.
I'm going to sidetrack us. There's two books that I read that I wanted to talk about really quick. The first one being Crocodile Black #1, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with art by SOM, S-O-M. Never heard of them, but great.
From Boom Studios.
Yep. This is a very interesting book about a young man who is, it's very unclear as to what he is suffering from or has PTSD about, other than he is seeing what I presume is his little brother Maddie, who is not there anymore, in drawings, and talks to a therapist, and they allude to him having severe episodes of disassociation and escapism and stuff like that. And it's during the pandemic. He's delivering groceries, comes across a delivery with a dead man, and doesn't know what to do, goes home, runs away. The implication is that seeing this dead body with these crocodile skin boots is putting him on a path of full escape disassociation, and maybe he's now a serial killer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least a hitman, something like that. Yeah. So like the book jumps forward and back in time, and you're seeing crime happen, but then you're seeing kind of this young man's origin, or seeming to be an origin, and you don't know what the truth is yet. The art is really clean. The layouts, I think the layouts are more impressive than the art.
Is nice.
It's got like a matte finish kind of aesthetic to it that makes it feel noir, but almost like a humid, muddy noir. And it takes place in the South. I think it's in Florida. But this was a really strong first issue. It doesn't end. If I was going to give it any knocks, it would be how it ends.
Okay.
It just kind of ends.
Okay.
As in, this is probably structured better as a graphic novel or full story, not necessarily in issues, because when you're reading issues, you get kind of like a sting at the end of like, ooh, let's go next. Yeah, like basically the Brian K. Vaughan special, where even though it's an ongoing story, he does always give you kind of like a button at the end to keep you going.
Yeah.
This just kind of ends like mid-sentence.
Okay.
But it was really strong. So anybody looking for like a new kind of noirish mystery miniseries, this is solid. This is really solid.
This is next on my list. I'm gonna pick this up.
I was intrigued. It was a lot of new things, a lot of new ideas, and Philip Kennedy Johnson is a trusted name. So,
what besides action and Superman?
Well, he's on Incredible Hulk right now. Also.
Oh, how's that going?
The first couple of issues were fun.
Every so often I'll see panels on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a gnarly book.
Nick Klein does a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
on why
he's
that
great.
book is so wonderful.
He came out of nowhere with Thor for me.
He's doing Green Lantern right now. What did I read of his?
The Hal Jordan. That is good.
The Fellspire Chronicles. The Dead God. It's a Black Label 12-issue miniseries, like Sword and Sorcery.
I know what you mean.
Good as hell. I don't know, you didn't finish it.
I didn't start it, yeah.
I think it was Brian and I read like 8 issues in one clip.
Yes.
It's really, really good.
Oh, I wish I could remember the name of that. I know exactly what you mean.
They retitled it the Fellspire Chronicles. But it was something
else.
God something. Yeah, Dead God, Dead, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the other book that I really want to talk about really, really fast is... The Amory Wars, Good Apollo, I'm Burning Star 4, Volume 2, Number 1.
What a name.
Yeah, that's all of it. Written by Claudio Sanchez and Chandra Eckert with art by Guillaume Martinez. Now, I'm a fan of Coheed and Cambria. I really, really enjoy the music, the albums. Never read Amory Wars, though. I'm mildly familiar with... So if anybody doesn't know, Coheed and Cambria, the band, every single one of their albums, save one, has been a story-based concept album that kind of talks about these characters and their journeys. The name Coheed and Cambria is the name of 2 characters. Coheed and Cambria.
Did not know that.
And then their son, Claudio, or something like that. I tangentially kind of understand that and know that, because I just enjoy the music.
Is that the name of the lead singer, Claudio?
Yeah, okay. Claudio Sanchez. Yeah. And the writers, Claudio Sanchez, it's him and his wife, Chandra Eckert, who is an author, I believe.
Have you read any of these other Amory Wars
because
books?
Up until recently they were all out of print, and they have been at 18 different publishers. Boom finally has it all collected
in big old nice hardcovers. BTW.
And I've always so there's been 4 series, all of them with weird names. So this is the beginning of the third, or the second half of the 3rd volume. But it's called Good Apollo, I'm Burning Star 4.
Fuck.
Whatever. Which is the name of, like, the album, too. The first book is the Second Stage Turbine
Blade.
Yeah,
Second Stage Turbine Blade in Keeping Secrets with Silent Earth 3.
Yeah.
What?
1, 3, but it's 2. Whatever. Right. Either way. I am very familiar with music. I'm very familiar with the lore. Hadn't had a chance to actually read the books, but this is the first series, the continuation of the series. It's been a 6-year gap. There's this is potential for new readers. They just reprinted everything,
and
I'm in. I did not like this at all.
Oh.
Yeah. I sometimes question, like, who's this for? I think it's only explicitly for everyone that's been there from day one.
Yeah.
And it's not for new readers at all.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
At all. There's, like, the book just straight up starts with absolutely no pretense or exposition about, hey, we've killed the crowing.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, okay,
Who's
cool.
Is that a person? Is that a multiple person?
It's scene after scene of this guy who looks like he should be on the Power Rangers, a Power Rangers villain, walking through a giant room, like just info dumping. But I have no ground. I have nothing to hold on to other than look at the art, and the art itself is very stilted. It's very boring. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, that's a shame.
And it's funny, like, I'm reading through it and I recognize some names, I recognize some pieces because I've heard the songs and I know the lyrics to the songs. But reading this comic, I have absolutely no idea the connections between the people, the connections between the places, or where they want to be or where they don't want to be. I genuinely have no idea what's going on.
Do you think that's easily solved by a previously on page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no previously on page. Yeah, there's no when a book has this big of a gap or this big of a potential following, literally every number one should be an on-ramp.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I mean, that's every comic to me.
It should be somebody's first.
Yeah.
And this is so standoffish and like keeps me at arm's length, even as somebody who wants to be a fan, that I couldn't help but be just really disappointed. So if you have been reading all the Amory Wars stuff, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Is this just more of the awesome that I wasn't invited to, or is this somehow different?
Email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com. Or
Yeah.
comment, but wherever you find this. All right, so I read Ain't No Grave, number one, from Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. And, I was more interested in Scotty Young's artwork
Than his writing?
For quite a while. He did Middle West. He did I Hate Fairyland. Or if you get the alternate covers, Fuck Fairyland. Which I thought was cute. But, I am coming around, man. Ain't No Grave number one is a really solid supernatural Western. And the art is kind of bonkers. There's a couple books out this week, one we're going to talk about in a little bit, where I was really taken in by the art style. Jorge Corona, is he also doing Transformers? Is that the same dude?
He's the current artist on Transformers. He did Middle West, and he did something else I completely forgot.
But his art has been evolving, and his clothes have been getting bigger and bigger.
The Me You Love in the Dark.
Yes. Very different style here. I really like the big, almost Todd McFarlane-esque, ridiculous flapping fabrics. And who's the other guy who did Spider-Man? He's another guy that very weird.
No one else has ever done Spider-Man. Just Todd McFarlane.
Ditko
and then straight to McFarlane.
But yeah, this I do have an issue with the issue, with the series, but it's nothing that I can say on air because it will spoil it. But basically, we have an train robber, bandit, an ex-bandit in the Old West. She has settled down and has a family, and then some stuff happens, and then she has to go on a quest, which becomes supernatural in nature. And I really liked this. What do you got? I was coming at this. So many things to address. Scotty Young's writing. I also used to be on the same boat with you, where it's like, meh, okay. But I recently read the first 12 issues of Strange Academy. That's him.
He wrote it.
Oh, I forgot.
And it is wonderful.
I remember liking the first couple issues a lot.
It is leagues better than his writing previously before that.
Awesome.
It's like he leveled up hard.
I love to hear that.
Being able to just focus on that, I think. And then I read Me You Love in the Dark, and I thought it was fine. The collaboration of these two beforehand.
I thought it was a neat idea.
I think they didn't stick the landing. Yeah. Like, it was 3 really good issues, and then 2, like, what? Why did I go on this journey? Kind of, yeah. So I was coming at this with we'll see. And same boat. This was wonderful. There's one you hit all the notes, but there's one specific one-page splash page that I do want to talk about. The way that Jorge Corona articulates time passing in her journey. Let me see if you can get to it. If you've already passed it, keep going. Boom.
Bam.
It is
you know
so
what?
creative.
I'm glad you're explaining that to me, because I saw that page and I went, why? Why is that different colors? What's going on?
It's I mean, I guess I can kind of spoil it. It's just time passes on her journey. It is a full page splash of her walking forward, but it is bisected into landscape panels, 5 of them.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And each one is a different kind of time period on her journey. So you're seeing the passage of time, but it's top to bottom and across the whole page. It's so creative. I mean, it doesn't seem like a new trick. It's just one that I don't see many people pull off well. And yeah, this book is super fun. Yeah,
I really like this. Oh, the other name that I couldn't think of, the artwork has vibes of, is Chris Boccello.
Oh, there's a little bit of that, but it's a lot more comprehensible than Chris Boccello.
Dude, yes. Oh my God, like, there's so many pages that Chris Boccello, I don't know how to say his name, Boccello, had drawn, where I'm like, what? Hey, eyeballs, where do you look? I don't know.
Yeah. His art is I mean, it's a feature, not a bug.
Comprehensible.
But it's just noise.
Yeah. Yeah. It's at 12 all the time.
Does a web go there? I don't care.
But yeah, this was great. This was fresh AF. Yeah. I was really surprised by this.
This is a really good book.
It kind of makes me want to go back and read. You didn't finish Middle West, did you?
No.
I like the idea behind that too. Where like this abused kid goes on a journey.
And his dad's a tornado.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What a cool idea.
No, I didn't finish it. I have, but I am trying to sell the hardcover if anybody's interested.
Oh.
I think it's out of print.
See me after the show. All right. Finally, we've got
Boy Wonder written and drawn by Junie Ba of Monkey Meat.
With colors by Chris O'Halloran.
What is this book?
This is I don't understand why this is a Black Label book.
Black Label doesn't mean rated R. I think I've had this conversation with a lot of people before. Black Label just means creator-centric, not in continuity.
Oh, I always kind of thought... I'm a retailer and I didn't know that.
It doesn't mean rated R. I thought it usually meant, like, is adult. Rated R.
Although, I guess we do get a beheading.
We also get a shit, I think.
Earlier... do you get a shit?
I think there's a shit in there.
Earlier, I was talking about Jorge Corona's art, and I was really surprised by Junie Ba's art in this book. It is a little bit of Cliff Chang. It's a little bit Mike Mignola. I kind of love the art in this book.
Yeah, so Junie Ba's last book, Monkey Meat, I pulled the first 2 issues. It was so cool looking, but I didn't care about the story at all. It was like esoteric, eccentric, a little bit of more like vibes and feels of like a manufacturing plant that's evil and monkeys. I honestly I couldn't even tell what the plot was. Yeah. Just that it was so pretty to look at, but not really anything to hold on to. So I was excited about this having like him. So this is a Damian Wayne story. It's almost like it's written like an oral history of Damian Wayne, where this kid is just kind of telling this allegorical, I do that with air quotes, allegorical story of a king and his princes, his sons. And then, it's juxtaposed with a speed round of the origin.
For multiple Robins.
Yeah.
He starts to go through all of the Robin's origins, which I kind of like.
Yes, we are taking a tour of all of Batman's progeny through the perspective of a little assassin.
All of the children that Batman has thrown in front of bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was really cool. The story's fine.
Yeah.
But I was really taken with the art. I find myself just kind of flipping through it and looking at it.
It's not pedestrian. It's just painfully linear. Like there's nothing new here. Yes.
Not the art. Story. Yeah.
Yeah. The story. There's nothing new here. It is written almost like a kid's book. But
with beheadings.
But it's written like a kid's book.
Right.
But the art is a little bit more mature, a little bit more nuanced, and a lot more experimental.
Man. You know what's a bummer is I imagine that this will be one of the books that certain people on the internet will like take a panel of and be like, "Oh, I can't believe! Look at DC, how far they've fallen." But like, it's a very interesting looking book to maybe other artists. I don't know if this will transfer to casual readers. They might be like, "Ugh, what is this?" But like, I love it.
If those people don't find value in the Clayface sequence. Mm-hmm. They don't understand comic books. Yeah, it's like fun. You can't look at this and say that it's fallen off and it's bad. It's not. Yeah. It could not be your style.
Absolutely, sure.
But this is not poor comic booking at all.
Who's your favorite Robin?
I mean, I'll always go back to Dick. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I love.
But then again,
Grayson.
You know what? Not my favorite Robin. I just love Nightwing.
But I also love
like Tim.
Stories of young Grayson as Robin, like current stories that go back.
Yeah, but those are like flashback stories, and you like them because they're Nightwing stories.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I'll tell you, it's from the perspective of Nightwing being Nightwing.
In the same way that my GL is Kyle Rayner, because of the time I grew up in, my Robin was Tim Drake. Love that kid, and how he just like figured everything out on his own through watching like news clips. He was like, "Oh, that's Bruce Wayne, and that's Dick Grayson."
I wasn't reading at the time. I like the idea of Tim Drake more than I can point to. Oh, this run of Tim Drake is fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, see, I read all that stuff. Like, the original Robin miniseries 1, 2, 3.
I read Robin 2 was one of the first things I picked up by Chuck Dixon in issues, and I think I from my local comic shop in Chicago when I was like 10. It was that and Capwolf.
Nice.
But I read 3 or 4 of them, but the Adam Beechin, Tim Drake stuff that happened like either right before Infinite Crisis. It was Freddie Williams III.
Oh, right.
That little run of Tim Drake in his, I think it was like a black cape with the yellow on the inside. That was dope. Yeah. That's actually been my favorite. Tim Drake.
Yeah, there he is. All
Tim Drake's my favorite Robin. We got
all
there.
All right. Let us know who your favorite Robin is.
Is there anything else coming out this week that you are excited to read?
You got me excited to read Crocodile Black. And then, quick note. If you guys went to go get the Energon Universe #1 free comic book day, John, that came out, but you missed it, it's actually re-released today, and you can actually you can buy it. They're selling it now.
Yeah. The
strange decision, but there you go.
Yeah, it's on the shelves for a while. The new comic book day stuff gets pilfered.
What am I looking forward to?
Masterpiece #5 comes out today. I'm very excited about that.
You're a Bendis boy, yeah.
I'm a bendy boy.
Oh, you know what? I've jumped on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles train. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Black, White, and Green comes out. Oh,
that's right. That's like a
today.
little
so
anthology.
I'm gonna check that out.
You got to let me know how that is because, as I said before, I'm allergic to anthology books.
Yeah, I know.
But
no,
if it's
you
solid,
like the Black, White, and Reds, don't you? Or no, you just like getting the big.
I like the art and if I liked them, I'd be getting them in issues. I want the Treasury editions, and to like peer over them. Yeah. I don't care about this.
Okay.
Every once in a while, there's a good story in there, but it's like.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out. Oh, join us tonight.
Yeah, join us tonight
on YouTube Live, where we'll be discussing
the Fall Guy.
Yeah,
just the Fall Guy,
just saw it last night.
Upcoming weeks, we're going to be talking about a lot of cool stuff, including some anniversaries of some cool movies coming out.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Maybe it rhymes with Sistery Sen.
Oh, God.
Pistery Pen.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk at you later.
Mickey Men? It's a mystery.
Man.
Thank you for listening to the CultPop Network, home to podcasts, live shows, and a whole lot of fun stuff for every flavor of fan. Follow us wherever you find your favorite podcasts, and be sure to join us live every Wednesday night at youtube.com/CultPopGo at 8 p.m. Eastern. While you're there, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we drop new Thunder Rounds and episodes of Fresh Floppies, a spoiler-free show about single-issue comics released each week. Until then, we'll talk at you later.